By Kirby Kid, and you are watching Dio Live, a daily stream show. We talk about game design. It's kind of daily, it's kind of not sometimes. And today's topic, I really wish I could show you some of the games that I played yesterday. I was at the Fantastic Arcade, which is an event here down in Dallas that celebrates indie gaming and gaming in general. So I got to see a couple of games that were not released. One of them being Samurai Gun 2, and I played it multiplayer. And then I got to play UFO 50, which is my most anticipated non-Smash Brothers game of this year. Hopefully it's coming out this year. Ugh. But anyway. I'm going to talk about those games in a bit. I'm going to open up with Splatoon. And I'll talk about Samurai Gun, UFO 50, Splatoon, and Enlighten. And we'll see where that takes us. So I just got done playing some Splatoon 2 ranked. Let's see. Let's check it out. Let's check out what it looks like. I have 2,252 points. So like, where is my record? They don't have my record here. But I think I won most of my last games here in Rainmaker. The cool part is, I'm trying to get better at this game. I'm trying to do all the things that they tell me to do. Watch matches, watch my own matches, watch people play, blah, 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 blah. And, sometimes it's hard to incorporate this information. Sometimes it's still hard to figure out like how am I going to get from the level that I am to the level that I want to be. But in the last 50 battles, I only lost. So in the last 9 battles, I only lost one of them. So I got some pretty good points, playing pretty well. Sometimes that information and those training that you do has to gel. Sometimes it feels like you're getting worse. I think that's all part of the learning process. But to show you some highlights, we're gonna go deep to not deep. I showed you some of these last time. This was that cool one last time. This was the other one last time. So this is the new one? Yeah, this is the new one. So the name of this video is called Subtle Small Optimizations, because really that's what it means to be deep, is to have a system that's complex enough, emergently varied enough, that the little things that you do continue to matter more and more, as every little detail that can be observed or done or whatever is a detail that can matter in some context. Oh, I was so close right there. So this is interesting right here. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this stuff here. Okay, so Grizzco. Killing a dude up here is really beneficial. This is one of the few spots that that dude can land on. So you get up here and you get some free eggs next to your basket. You just try not to blow up in the meantime. I have to go down the hill to not blow up there, get my friend back. And then I go over here. I see some eggs. Stop that guy by throwing a bomb. I know missiles are on me, so I have to... Is that missile a Coca-Cola bottle? Are you kidding me? Clip this. What? I'm gonna share this with my friends. What? Missiles are Coca-Cola bottles? What? It's like he takes... That's crazy. They're bottle rockets. I played this game about 1,000 hours. Yeah, about 1,000 hours. So like, anyway, missiles coming in, so I have to make sure that I move in a way that keeps me protected. And with the areas behind me exploding, I choose to go forward because I know when I go forward, this huge explosion, right, puts down a lot of my own ink, so I know it's going to be temporarily safe. I move into the temporary safe zone. I see this coming at me. Small fry, medium, Kohawk. And then some more coming from the left, so I'm in trouble. And that was my brother's like, how did you survive that? I thought you were dead for sure. I almost got the egg in the basket. But the cool part about this is, you know, some of the cooler moments in Geometry Wars where even though it looks like there's a bunch of fodder enemies coming in, which enemy you choose to shoot with every single one of your bullets in your time matters. So here I clearly go, prioritize small fry, two in front. I need to cut a hole, so I move back to the left, cut right to center so the Quahog starts blocking the ones on the left because they can't walk through each other. That allowed this little guy in the front to take just that much more time and allow me to slip through unscathed, right? So like little things like that are hard to teach people. They're hard to communicate to people because it's a whole bunch of little things you already know. Like fish don't walk through other fish. Fish always path to you. This fish takes this many hits. This fish takes this many. When you have this gun, it's going to take this long. So on and so forth. Like all that just comes together. Here's another clip. I don't even know why I saved this one, but we'll see in a second. Oh, that, yeah, it was like, I don't know why Chris exploded. Look at Chris. What the heck was that? Chris goes, front flip time. I'm in a jetpack and explodes instantly. He is not near that griller. And he was like, why did I die? I'm like, I have no idea. You just exploded next to me. So it's evidence, Chris. You're vindicated. Anyway. So this weapon is weak, and everyone knows it's weak, but the cool thing about it is you can run really fast through enemy ink and basically run circles around people until you explode. So let's see what I do here. Oh yeah, that doing a splashdown off the lip of the maw and continuing to move, that was insane. So I was like dead. I was dead here, right? I was like, oh no, missiles, gotta weave left. Oh no, weaving left puts me straight into this trap. I bounced off the lip and somebody else threw a bomb in, thankfully. But then I was like, I'm probably gonna get chomped before the bomb explodes in his mouth. So the only thing I thought of was like, use special. And then I rise up over the top. State the state of your soul. You got to find out for yourself whether or not you're truly trying. So that was really cool. It's just really why it's cool to build your game systemically, and I know that word's kind of a buzzword, but essentially like try to make your rules interact in the most basic way possible so that when you put them together things are a lot more understandable, and then you get situations like that. They didn't have to program that I could do that in midair. It's just like you can do it in midair and it makes your character rise up, and then you know, having a delay on when the enemy actually kills you to when it actually chomps its jaw allows all that cool stuff to happen. So make your games better, people. This is a cool one. So this is a cool optimization like I showed you before. When you get these drizzlers, where is it? So there's the first one. You want to weaken it so that you don't want to travel as much as you want to travel as little as possible when you're getting the eggs back to your basket. So I told the team here, Drizzler, weaken, don't kill it. And Marcus is like, okay. And then as it was flying back, I'm like, and kill you here, and easy eggs in the basket, right? That's an optimization. So cool. When to let your enemies survive, when to let them come to your advantage, like little things like that. You could probably come up with hundreds of them, right? Because, you know, games are built on a lot of different unique interactions, scenarios, setups. This is just a really cool example of how our rando saved our butts, right? I saw a splashdown, and look at all these metal enemies. These metal enemies block the splashdown, which I'll draw on this whiteboard. So this splashdown explosion is blocked by this dude here, which would have killed this dude here, and this guy's also blocking some stuff. Not a lot of that force didn't get in my general direction, so that's just a curse of splashdown, right? So I'm dead, and I don't know what he did. He like shoots one blaster shot through the enemy, thread the needle, and then it lands in front of this fat guy in front of me, but puffs and somehow gets me back. This is like a miracle shot. We were so dead. He splashed down just to give himself enough time to do one shot. Pow. I get back. And then I immediately put an egg in, get my brother. I tell my brother to get Jose. He gets Jose, and then he does another splashdown. And then we take care of everything. There's eggs everywhere. I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 27 eggs. That's what we call a Benedict, or an eggs Benedict. Okay, now for the competitive stuff. This is funny. This is a team with some of the DO people. I'm playing Inkbrush. It's Clan Blitz. I usually need to be playing a gun so I can be the principal slayer on our team. but I'm really sort of holding us back by playing this weapon. But by doing so, everyone needs to lock into their roles and to perform adequately. And we actually pulled it off. It was a lot of fun. But this is like the end of a game, and this other team has two of one kind of Googler Doolies right here, and two of the other kind. And this kind throws up walls, and this kind throws up bombs. So their whole plan on this stage is to, on this narrow choke point at the end, they put bombs and they put walls, and it's nearly impossible to get in any timely manner. And I almost won the game. I missed my shot. I let the team down. Ugh. So anyway, I knew that this was your strategy. And Marcus says, we got to do something about these walls. So I was like, okay, bounce off the top wall. I wish I could have ridden that wall with my bubble form. But since this is not paintable, it's not stickable. That would have been so cool. I bumped that one, explode, and then I should have just wormed around that thing and thrown it for the win. It was overtime. This was it. No! But this video just shows a bunch of neat interactions happening. Right, you can see my ability to run through enemy ink, just like I explained before, coming in full force. My ability to jump, pogo, platform, destroy, and ability to penetrate right here, right before the wall came up. Look at this. He throws up another wall. It almost blocked me. If that splashdown were just like a little more effective, or if I went right instead of left, because my ally, somebody threw a bomb right there to help me, and Marcus did a splashdown right there. It was so close. We were so close. Anyway. So here's another example of how the ink brush can really do well despite not being so aggressive. So I get 10 clams. I got a super clam. And I need to take this football-looking super clam and shove it into their goal, which is over near their base. So I move around, and they can see me on the map now that I'm glowing. So I know they see me, so I'm just keeping my mobility up, and then I fake going this way. Keep this in mind. I love doing this. When you know that everybody has eyes on you, that means you're communicating them in a unique way. I always use that to my advantage. Look, I faked one way, went the other way. The guy bumped me. That guy just popped out and bumped me. If he didn't bump me, I would have totally gotten close enough. So I backed up, threw it. This is a cool strat. You throw it first, and then you baller up, and then you get near it and you explode. Yeah. Here's another interesting one. So this is today's match. It's Rainmaker. I die here, and I got to come back and defend. And learning how to cut in is something I'm trying to tell my friends to do better. I'm not sure exactly how to do it well, but I know that if you just stand back and fire all day, you're going to lose, right? And I did not want to lose this match. So, Rainmaker blast on the right, shoot that Brella. As soon as I saw him dead, I'm like, I'm cutting in. That guy arced it over. I'm like, nope, that guy died, so it's my color. I jump out from back here. That guy missed his first shot. I stand to the right, kill him, juke to the right, and kill all three of them. So it's basically like, you got to find the moments. There's little rhythms, even in a shooting game, where there's pockets of safety and ways to penetrate, and this is one of them. Oh, and by the way, this first guy it's an umbrella, which I'll highlight for you guys. This is an umbrella, and it prevents shots from going through. He's protecting his ally, and I know that, right, because I've been playing this team for like 2 minutes already. So what I do, anticipating their wall, is throw this bomb over. Where did I throw the bomb? There. Threw the bomb, knowing that they were going to be cluttering up the bridge. He's shielding, and guess what? He explodes from behind. Yep. And that allowed me to do this, which allowed me to do that, step by step. So I guess Rainmaker is one of my best modes, but I hate it the most because you can lose so quickly and your allies can ruin it for you so easily. So here's me learning how to play safe, right? I'm keeping my eyes open and saying, hey, don't just waltz in there. Find a situation and go for it, right? Like, or only go for situations you understand rather than situations you want to make happen. I see bubbles bouncing in a laser. How about we back up? But I threw a bomb. I see somebody coming. He sees me, but shooting up there. Back out just in time. Cool, because we have stage control. All this stuff is pink. I can move pretty freely. I got a little bit of swim speed. I throw a bomb. I see a glowing thing. Threw a bomb. And I'm confident, like, whatever. Pressured him off that ledge. I paint for my friend. And then I say, booyah, baby. Throw it forward. And we all dance. So now we'll watch that same situation with a more talented counter team. Look, we take the lead. I can't kill that guy, so I hide in the distraction. I don't think they see me, but I saw a guy over here. So I throw a bomb. get him out from one direction. He goes up to my friend. I'm already ready to kill him. It's so important to be ready, and that means you have to spot things early. Throw a bomb over there. He gets killed. I'm like, perfect opportunity, people. And I see them coming. One in the distance coming in this direction from the right. One's going left. I'm like, okay, I got an ally over here already. This guy's probably going to take that guy. I'm just going to take this, block this middle channel, and then we're going to pressure the left for the win. That was my thinking. So, let's see what happens. Middle channel. And slam it. And notice how my ally was saying the same thing. We both throw bombs because we saw the guy go over there. And then, guess what? One of them explodes, and somebody has like a... yeah, sloshing machine. Splashdowns because tried to survive that bomb I threw deeper. I think I threw mine deeper or something. Anyway, you panicked. You should have been not walled up in your base. You got to learn how to cut in or something like that. Who cares? So here's the last match I played today. Had me cheering pretty loud. We were losing. Or it was a tight match. We lost the lead. And then I was like, oh man. I thought we had lost and we barely killed the last person in our base, and then it went to overtime. So we popped the bubble, and I'm like, I'm grabbing the Rainmaker. I know how to play the Rainmaker. And this is like just after getting off my base. See some bubbles from the right. I know he's gonna try to ambush. Bad move. Shot. Back up. Like, how about you try attacking me when you have more stage control next time? It's all purple. Go over to the left. And remember this move I just told you I did before? I'm going left, guys. Nah, I shoot up and move right. I heard this bomb, which is why I didn't go straight over here. I'm so lucky. Nah, that's skill when you hear things. I saw that bomb. I'm like, okay. I got killed by a curling bomb earlier this match. So it's important to be mindful, like, okay, the curling bomb user is the Clash Blaster, I think. No, it's probably the Emperor Dualies right here. And then this Clash Blaster comes on the right. I see somebody shooting. That's the splatter shot. And I killed the Blob Lobber. So I think I know where all the enemies are. Left and 2 right. So, like, this is usually when they jump down on you. So I shoot their defensive position and instantly back up. My allies pick that guy off. And then the Blob Lobber who spawned back, still back there, right? No, just died. That Blob Lobber just went straight at me again and died right there. So yeah. Blob Lobber here. Ally tried to get me. Allies get them. Thank you, allies. That's how you play the game. Nothing too crazy about that. And I'm like, oh, I'm an enemy ink. So I shoot a diagonal path. And I jump halfway up. Optimization. Instead of walking up the path, you can jump a far way. And then there's a better way to optimize that, but I'm not that good. I see the jetpack, and I go, okay, this is it. I saw you. I saw you, and we win. Man, that was so close. Walked that all the way out of our base. But I knew the jetpack was going to shoot, so then I go early, and then I do a sub. I didn't even do a substrate. Wow, I'm lazy. But the anticipation. And look, the reason I knew it was going to be clean, because I shot this blast over here. It's all purple. And then go right, jump, left, dodge that curling bomb. You guys all lose. I do that all the time. So, Splatoon's really cool. Pointing out little details is a lot of fun. That's how that goes. I'll tell you some stories about Samurai Gun. Samurai Gun 2, they added a new mechanic, which is really fun. It's this dash mechanic. And it allows you to... It allows you to spin a bullet to dash, and when you're dashing, it's a pretty strong like burst of speed that you keep the momentum to. It's not like and you fall down, you fly around, and then it only goes through other sword attacks or players, but it doesn't go through bullets. And I felt like that change was really good for the game, because before there wasn't really a triangle of interplay, and it was just like, oh, you have bullets. And then you can kind of deflect them with the sword. You can get around them with movement, and you can you shoot your own bullets back, and they don't clash. And like there's a little bit of a lack of interplay there. So what they did was add a thing that specifically beats swords because swords are strong. And then they made them weak to bullets, making bullets. Not only do you have to spin the bullet to use that dash, but it doesn't go through bullets. So you're like, oh no, it's a different kind of currency, right? These decisions have a different weight now. It's pretty cool. Otherwise, the art is just really cool, and I just got to play on a few levels. That game is really cool. I used to host Samurai Gun tournaments on the Indie Circuit website. I showed you guys the blog in which we labbed Samurai Gun for like a few weeks straight and found all these techniques and practiced a few things. And I got second place on the first Samurai Gun tournament I hosted, and then I got first place. And when the same sort of returning champion came back in the next year. And it's an interesting game because even if I say it's not that hard to master, right, it won't take you that much time, it's always the mental roadblocks that are going to hold you back or keep you going, right, and make you excel. So with Samurai Gun in particular, it's so tempting just to run at your enemies and just kind of slash at them and go crazy, right? Maybe I'll get a trailer for Samurai Gun. But the trick is, you have so much more control than you think, even in a free-for-all situation. You gotta play. You always need to play within what you know and what you understand. Never just get comfortable taking bunches of guesses and hoping for the best. It just doesn't work. So, like, if you know how to do 1v1 duel, then don't jump into a 2v2 tool and make it a 3-for-all. Like, don't do it. If you know how to do good bullet shots, walk close to people, then walk back so you can at least try to establish some bullet shooting range. Like, little things like that go a long way. But one of the interesting things about playing Samurai Gun is, because we had labs so much, I have all these ideas in my head, right? Names for techniques, patterns of movement, approaches, evasive things, just from pure exploration of labbing the game just for its own sake. And when I play the game, instead of doing the same thing over and over, getting frustrated or getting stuck, just by playing, I naturally think of all the interesting things that I labbed. I'm like, oh, I remember this. And instead of going, I wonder if it's a good time to use it, or let me think if it's a good strategic opportunity to blah, 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 I just do it, right? Like, I lab the techniques that are good. I didn't lab a whole bunch of things that were going to get me killed. So I just trust it, right? And the fact that I'm thinking of it in that moment, it's probably contextual of whatever's happening. Like, ooh, wouldn't it be cool if? Well, then it's probably more contextual than a random choice. It's amazing, just like I showed you in the Splatoon thing, anticipation and confidence, right? Being sure of yourself. You'd be surprised at how many narrow situations you're going to get out of because you never hesitated. And that's crazy. That's crazy no matter what the game really, if it's an action game, it's probably going to have something of that kind of quality. But it was cool being able to turn on and off the juice. It was cool because Samurai Gun's not a complex game, so everything that I thought about the game and all the matches that I played, like, I have a decent memory, and I remember what it was like to play during those times. I remember what it was like to play better and acquire every little trick and understand just a little bit more about the game. So as I'm playing today, as I played yesterday, I could just go back to bad habits. Like, they're bad habits for a reason. They're kind of stuck inside. So it's not hard for me to play like I don't know what I'm doing. But if I just take a breath, calm down, and then start remembering things, start being loose enough to let my brain remember and to listen to the things that are coming up, it makes a huge difference. And part of the mystery that we're trying to crack is how to really get that masterful high level of skill, right? Like, what's the difference between pro Smash players and the people who go 0-2 in bracket all the time? What can be done? What's really the secret? And stuff like this really helps me understand, learning a little bit better and understand what's happening. So that was a cool experience. It's cool watching the people come up and like, yeah, I play tons of hours in this game. I'm like the best of my friends. You go, haha, that's cool. And then you just like turn on the juice and they just can't win at all. And it's like, it's so crazy because before Enlightened, I wouldn't have been able to tell you that how these little things matter and what stages of my exploration process, like which aspects of it pays off the most. I just know that I kept getting better and better and I kept, working at it and trying things. But now I'm like, I basically went to explore mode. What little matches there were to watch and what few players there were to watch, I watched them. And then I competed, played enough of it, right? And those are like the building blocks to success, for competitive games at least. So that was cool. Another thing, I played UFO 50 just as a side note, and I played Mortal 2, the game I was most anticipating on the UFO 50 package. It's the one where you play like 5 different classes of people and try to explore a large, persistent 2D side-scrolling world, and every time you die, you lose one of your 100 lives, and you have 100 lives total, period. You can choose a different class character every time you die, and they have unique abilities that oftentimes kill them when they use it. So it's not just a matter of playing well and never losing a life. You have to lose lives. You have to use lives, so your resources. Super clever idea. That should basically, like, if all the rest of the UFO 50 games are like that, then, man, level designers of big companies need to wake up. Like, if this game is doing more clever and more effective things with its level design than, like, your entire AAA game, you should probably study up, right? Study up and get your act together. But that's neither here nor there. The last thing, I'll show you a little bit of enlightenness. Speaking of small optimizations, this is the progress that I made on... Oh, it's so warm in here. The progress that I made on creating an Overwatch system. So, if you didn't know before, one of the new features I'm adding is this method maker system, and you can, you know, edit these methods. Like, I'll edit this one, and then it has the goal that you set. That's the whole purpose of making this method. You can drop in nodes, and every node you can click on and edit their particular parameters. You can rearrange them. You can name it, and other cool features like if you indent like this, that makes that particular node, which is right here, number 4. That makes that node only accessible if it was preceded by a node that was indented, or if it was preceded by a node that was a truth test, right? So you have these little nodes that can test whether or not these conditions are true or not, or right or false or whatever. And if it is, it'll play this indented node. If it's not, it'll skip over it. It's just a basic way to do if functionality. And I guess you can see it in action here. And you click play. And then it freaking keeps making that a breakpoint. I keep saying stop making that a breakpoint. You can see how it thinks, oh no! Method shaker, I got a bug. Let me try this. Close you, do that, do this. So the newest feature I added was like, okay, you can make these scripts that can basically play the game for you. It helps you think a lot more about your process and what your unique style is in a more structured and systematic way. But I wanted to create an Overwatch system, because in the game, when you play in light, and Richard will tell you stuff like, you've been clicking a lot, are you sure you know what you're doing? And that's a lot of lights. So like, the whole point of the game is to reduce the lights and stuff like that. He'll notice how many times you've used the scroll wheel or how many redundant clicks you've made, and kind of comment on it just to help bring a little bit more awareness of what you're playing to your mind. Likewise, that system I made it like a year and a half ago, a long time ago, and it's very rudimentary, right? It's very basic. He only has so many phrases and he only can look so many ways. And sometimes people don't care, they make redundant clicks, or sometimes they need other kinds of feedback more than some, right? So I was making what I call the new Overwatch system, which is the real Overwatch system. And it lets you take those nodes that you just saw and customize your own feedback, right? So if you're the kind of person that's like, every time the lights are in the 4 corners of the grid, I always panic, right? Like, let's say you're that kind of a person. Well, you can make an Overwatch that says if the lights are in the 4 corners of this grid, and then you can do whatever, like play a sound, flash the screen, give yourself a positive message saying don't panic. And, you know, that's just a really interesting tool for building feedback and building feedback for yourself, right? That you want to hear, that you think is important, that's tailored to the next kind of thing you need to learn, or your next stage in your learning. So that was the advanced Overwatch system, and I completed that earlier, I think yesterday. So now it's just working on some cleanup and some other interesting things, but I'll show you what it looks like. But yeah, the topic is small optimizations, and both the Method Maker and the Overwatch system are supposed to help you keep your eyes fresh, right? Never just settle for like the same old. And you could probably set the Overwatch system to be like, hey, if I'm doing the same solution method for this, freaking play this bad sound, right? I want to keep it fresh. I want to keep it moving. I don't want to settle. Like, if you see me settling, then do something about it. Say something about it. And I wish I had tools like that for Splatoon. There's so many situations I can tell that I don't have the brain power to properly sort of recognize or think about while I'm playing. And I need somebody either to record those moments or to keep me calm, remind me of something. Like that's what I need. It's hard to do that for yourself. That's why I'm building these tools to help be like an extension of your mind. But we'll take one more look at the thingy and see if I can get it to work. So here's the Overwatch system. It looks a lot the same. Hopefully it won't glitch, but it probably will. You can run it, and this one's made up of 8 nodes, and the first one just counts the number of lights. The second one checks how many number of lights. If there's 10, it'll play this feedback sound. If it's 15, it'll play this one. And then if it's, hopefully you guys can hear that. Oh, can you guys? Yeah, you probably can hear it. And if it's 20, it'll play this one. Alright, I just picked those sounds. And I'm setting the condition myself. So now as you're playing, the idea is, don't glitch, man. And you're like, no, you didn't hear anything. Well, that's because there's 5 lights. Well, what if we did this? Oh. And now I know there's 10 lights. I don't even have to count them. I can, instead of going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can just be like, heard the sound, I understand there's 10, at least 10. Is it exactly 10? Oops. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, there's at least 10. At least 15. And now I need to make a click that adds at least 1, so I'll do that. 15, or there's 20 now. So you can build your own feedback system. You can do a lot more sophisticated things than just play those chimes. It's going to be really neat to not only... Boys. What's up? You're on stream. Whoops. I was just wrapping up the explanation of the Overwatch system, and I had a cool little example. What was it? So yeah, these will help you notice things, make optimizations, kind of program yourself. Because the whole thing is, smart people can program things to do things that you can't do. We all know this. That's why computers exist. But the whole point of Enlighten is to learn how you learn, and not just to understand that somebody else can program it, and not to understand that somebody else can do it. You need to do it. It's so much more important and meaningful when you get it yourself. So these tools are there to help you program yourself. That's why the Method Maker has certain limitations that I'm not going to let you get past, because ultimately it's supposed to help you put that in your brain, not keep it in the game, right? You got to take it with you, and so on and so forth. So that's some of the progress I made on this doohickey. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this stream on small optimizations. Join us in the Discord if you want to chat. Otherwise, join us randomly at random times every day on this Twitch channel. Follow us if you care. Send us a tweet if you don't. Till next time, guys. Oops. I don't even know how to click the off button.